Hey, how's it going? This is Shaylee, and I thought I would talk about this subject since everybody else seems to not really want to. Crohn's and sex. Yes. Now, we all know can be kind of a touchy subject because we all are into different things. We're all shy about different things. And yeah, there's some things we prefer people not to know. So I did make some notes so it would be easier for me to keep track of where I am. And yeah, so I just wanted to ask how many of you feel, male or female, because Crohn's doesn't really discriminate against gender that way. How many of you feel less sexy? You feel less attractive? And honestly, for me, I was diagnosed when I was 13, so this has kind of been a progression, and I had Crohn's when I really kind of started getting into more like sexual activities and things like that, whereas it may be more embarrassing possibly if you had just started dating somebody and all of a sudden you were diagnosed and started having these issues. Oh my puppy. No, 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 no. She wants to talk to you. Okay. So, the grumbling and the cramping is really difficult. Oh. Because along with feeling uncomfortable, having somebody be able to hear your stomach make the most awkward, ungodly noises in the middle of trying to be intimate and attractive is very, very difficult. You don't really feel that wanted, and it kind of puts that rut. Or maybe you're lucky, maybe you're kind of like me and you have somebody who you kind of like, just laugh it off, right? Which I'm hoping. But my main advice to you is, if you're with somebody who you can't be comfortable with, who is judgmental, then I would really think about either talking to them about changing their attitude, or if you just know you have that gut feeling, I would definitely get rid of them, because not feeling attractive is huge. It is so much of confidence and knowing somebody accepts you even though there's something you're dealing with that is so shunned by society. It's so much more helpful. Also, another thing to deal with is you don't know when upsets will happen, and you try to plan, and I know planning doesn't sound very sexy either, but at the same time you're trying to control something that's uncontrollable and episodic. And there have been times for me when you're like right in the middle of something and really, how awesome do you feel and you're like, oh, excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom. Yeah, not a good time. Not a good time. So being with a really understanding partner is key. Now, how do you deal with things like that? Because that hurts your pride and your vanity and all those things. You have to start to accept this is going to happen. You don't have a choice about this. I have had times where I've taken Imodium, I've taken Pepto-Bismol, I've taken Tylenol, I've taken Gas X, I have taken so many things to be like, you know what? Tonight it is happening whether my stomach wants it or not, and then it's more of a not because it just happens. That's what happens. Your body just does what it does, and Crohn's is just one of those things you have to deal with. Yes, finding, my next point, what I wrote to remind myself of, would be finding what makes you feel attractive and what makes you feel sexy. So if that's dressing up, if that's doing your hair, which is kind of part of dressing up, but I mean, like, whatever. If you like certain colors, if you think certain things look good on you, if you're a makeup, lipstick person, or for guys, if you have a special type of cologne or like lotion or an aftershave you use, those things can help a lot, because if you feel sexy, then you're going to have more confidence and you don't have stress, which also is a trigger. If you're stressed, if you're worried, if your mind is going like mine does all the time, you're definitely going to get cramps, and your stomach is definitely going to get upset. So you're stressed and you're like, oh my god, oh. Like in times where it's really flared up, I know that's more common than when it's kind of like to the side a bit, then you can chill out a bit. But when you're having a major issue, you definitely want to do all you can to keep that calm and keep that relationship, that like sexual intimacy going, which can be so difficult. But it takes work, and like anything that's worth it, you gotta work at it. And another thing as well, ask your partner what, you know, to calm your own mind. Maybe just ask them, you know, does this gross you out? What do you think about this? And if your stomach is at the point where it has been flared up for quite a long time, then possibly be like, you know what, I noticed at this time or this day it's worse than other times. And like I said, planning, it doesn't always feel sexy, but you know, to keep that communication open is really important. I find it, for me, hard to communicate, honestly, sometimes, because you're so embarrassed, and it kind of takes that, ugh, you just cringe. I just feel my inner voice and myself just kind of like, do I really have to talk about this or ask this? And do I really want to know the answer? I'm lucky because I have the most amazing partner in the world, and she has been so gracious and so kind and so understanding of all the issues I have. And there's been embarrassing times, hella embarrassing times, and she just handled it with complete poise and grace and just dignity. And if you can't feel dignified with the person you're with, again, that's something you should be walking away from, because Crohn's takes quite a bit to deal with without having the person you're with taking your dignity and your pride and your confidence away. So yeah, you can dress up, you could dance. I'm shy about dancing, so don't think I'm like all that. What else did I write? Oh, self-talk. Sometimes our worst critic is ourselves. Our minds are constantly playing these things like, they're not going to think you're sexy, they're going to think you're gross, what if this, what if that? And you hear it all day long, every day, especially during those times of stress, like you're not good enough, or, you know, maybe they're just pretending that it doesn't gross them out, or that you're attractive as they say you are. What if, what if, what if? And you have to start controlling that. You have to start telling yourself nice things like, wow, I really like the way this looks on me, and I have really beautiful legs, and you know, I like the way I smile, and I like the way I move this way, and I think I'm sexy when I do this. And you know, if you start telling yourself those things, you will feel 100 times better, because feeling confident comes from the inside. It's not going to happen from having people tell you good things. And if you're the type of person who likes to be reassured all the time, that is not going to help. You need to be strong in yourself. And I have those moments of weakness. I sometimes just cry and just, I'm upset, and I'm like, why do I have to be like this? It's embarrassing, and I don't like letting people down. I can't be on time for certain things, or I have to rebook things, or if somebody's looking forward to something and I, you know, can't do it, that crushes me. It drives me nuts. And in a sexual relationship, like, that dialogue is also harder, because if you feel like you can't sexually perform and, you know, be available and please the person you're with, you start to come down a few notches and really question yourself. And I think it's important to forgive yourself and give yourself some leeway and just accept the fact that nobody's perfect. People without Crohn's, they're not perfect. People who have other illnesses, they're not perfect. We're not perfect. So there's a whole world of imperfections, and our imperfections is just like a tiny blip on the map, and that's okay. It's okay to not be perfect. That's what makes us unique and different. So if anybody has any questions or would like me to talk about anything, even if it's like really embarrassing, maybe you don't know how to ask or how to talk about it, I would totally lay that out for you, because I've had Crohn's for 13 years now, so I've been around the block a few times. So yeah, I just wanted to say to all you ladies and gentlemen out there, just be confident in yourself, and God bless, and don't stress. Comment and subscribe, and I will put as many videos up as I can with Crohn's related, and also some Gerson updates. Oh, that's my phone, I better go. Bye.